Here we are, stage three of the Esports World Championship semi-finals. I'll take you through the key info here. Standings after stage two. So I'm in 8th place. I've got almost a 100-point buffer on the top 20, which is the big goal. If you want to catch those other videos, I'll link them here. But we are on an 8-lap route here with it goes up, down sprint, and repeat that 8 times. Now, in this race, the top 20 at each banner will receive points 20 down to 1 for the first 7 laps, and then double points on the last lap. So it's a little bit less than in the previous race, I think, because there are more chances to score. So 8 chances in this race, whereas in the previous race, the Punchers Playground, there were only 5. So overall, it adds up to a similar amount of points available if you were to win every segment. I was expecting this one to really kind of be another savage race because these little rollers are significant. They don't look too bad on paper, but with the level of some of the top guys, they're not going to be mucking around. So need to kick up here as my avatar's drifted to the left. A lot of people have overtaken me, so I'm pushing up, trying to get myself in a good position now. Again, there are people in this field that they are one and done for this first sprint. It's their only kind of tactic, and there's no way a little fella like me is going to kind of beat them in a sprint. So I'm best to save my energy and not contest this first sprint. So I'm thinking that someone like Jason Osborne is probably thinking the same. He's going to let them contest the sprint and then just charge right on through and get things going. So you come down this hill, and then people are really going hard to try and take those top 20 positions. I need to be on the power to make sure that I stay in the lead group because you need your speed to head around that next hill, and you're going to need to keep on the power to do so. So I come across the line there about 46th, and you can see it's kind of strung out, so I need to keep on the power to really make my way back to the front of the peloton. I'm expecting that some of those fitter guys are going to be pushing the pace and making it really difficult for the sprinters there. As you can see that I've moved up into the top kind of 20 positions with those guys. And I think that's probably Jason that's gone off the front there. So my thoughts were right in what I thought would happen. But I'm not with him, but I'm with the main part of the group, which is good. Leaderboards there. I'm still in 8th place. Just for me to miss the top 20 here would just require two unlikely things. You'd need all the 13 guys from 9th to 21st to basically score so many points on this stage that it's just not possible without those top 7 scoring points. So those top 7 are going to score points in this race. So in a safe position, so it's a little bit stress free in my mind, but I want to kind of get a few little holes if I can before I can really switch off the gas. So now I've decided that I'm going to go really all in for this second one and try and make the most of the next few laps if I can. Now, going to try and gain some entry speed on the downhill to pick things up, but unfortunately, I start to pick things up and I head to the front and lose draft. So I'm the lead out man for all the big sprinters here, and I get absolutely ran over the top of here. And I think I actually finished 21st. So all that effort for absolutely nothing on that one. So not much changes in terms of my points, but there are a few people starting to catch me a little bit. The pace stays on again over this roller. It's going to pretty much every lap as expected. And I was going to say one by one, but more than one by one, people are going to be dropping off over that section of the course. Now, this is again where some of the stronger guys tend to try and go on with it, trying to make their run for the next lap to go through without having to sprint. But, I'm in a good position in 8th overall, so I'm more than happy to be with the bunch at this stage. And again, I missed points there, but I'm going to have a crack at them this lap if I can. So, a few people come through with momentum again. That's fine. I just need to match it as we go up this hill. And then I'm going to try and time things better. So I learnt last time that yes, picking up entry speed on the downhill is good in theory, but if you become the lead out man, that's not what you want at all. So you can see there about 5 or 6 people really kind of going early. They're making a really long range move to try and get these points. I feel like I'm in a better position here. It's a bit more strung out. I'm kind of at a moderate power here in the 300-watt range, but I am picking up speed. I'm at 67 k's an hour. I'm ramping, and I'm hoping I stay in the draft of the guys, which I do. So this one's looking better. I'm in the mix of these guys sprinting for it. I haven't touched the wind. Just I do there, but I'm still in an okay spot. But how close are these finishes? Like, there's nothing in them. And the points will come up in a second for that one. I think I was about 10th. Yeah, so 10 points there, which isn't a bad haul. Moves me to 320. Every one of these little hauls I can get is making me feel even more satisfied with the position, because I don't want to drop down too many places in the overall ranks. Even though I feel safe of advancing, I still want to do a pretty solid job overall. You may notice that not a heap is changing on the left hand side. It's just so close, and with those sprints, it's a little bit of potluck almost. So some guys are scoring one lap, missing the next, or they're getting a decent score, then getting 1 or 2 points, and things really aren't changing much on the left between those guys. But there are a few guys making their way up from outside of the top 20, inside the top 20, and there are also a few key names that either had issues or weren't in this group, which was quite a surprise to see some of the really big names not put themselves in this race. You'll notice we're starting to lap riders as well. Now, this stage apparently was designed for the final with 20 riders. It's chaos with 150. The whole course is starting to become littered with lap riders. So for guys going in breakaways like Jason, there's actually draft all over the place for them, which is super handy. I feel like I'm in an okay spot again this time as I kick things up. Um, I'm up around 700 watts. Can't really tell what's going on at the moment. A few guys are coming from behind. It's looking not the best though. Seems around the 17th mark if you looked at the right hand side there. So the points will come up again in a second. And geez, halfway through this race already, it's so on. Like 4 points there. It's just up, down, go again. So by this stage, I've only got 4 laps to go, and again, I'm in that mindset where I know I'm in the top 20, so I'm not fighting for it as much as I did on stage two. I can tell that I'm almost satisfied just being here, having a couple more sprints, and then like really enjoying things. I've been overtaken a little bit now. I am down to 9th, and I'm not really sure of the race situation. I know that I'm in the bunch of guys that I'd say are similar to me, but I feel like there are a few guys off the front, and it turns out that there were. But I don't know how many people are in the lead group anymore. I can't tell if there are 60, 40, 30. I think at this stage, halfway through, it was probably around 30, and it gets less and less very quickly in the next few laps. So the attrition is really playing a part. It's not really a sprinter's paradise. I mean, it might be for a couple of laps, but just with my whoosh dynamics, really, like it requires watts. There's only so much draft that you can get when you're putting in these kinds of efforts over these climbs and sprints back to back. So coming into lap 5. Lose a bit of draft, but we're up on the power again. This one seems like I'm in an okay spot. I do hit the wind there with about 150 to go, and again, I'm going to get overran by a few. I had good power there, but just the timing again, I'm finding it really difficult. I'm not sure if it's due to my weight, um, making it quite difficult because if I go early to get the speed up that I need, then I get overran. And if I go late, I don't have the watts to match the other guys around. So it's only 3 points. So not really adding to the tally there. And I am now down to 10th place on the live leaderboard. And for some reason, I get an extra point here. I'm not sure if they're doing back end kind of updates as things are happening. But either way, I'm in the group, and we're about to rinse and repeat one more time. There's a couple of names here that are really scoring good points that are kind of projecting themselves up into the trip away. So looking forward to meeting some of those guys that I'm talking about that really cemented their spot in this final race. It's definitely a race that I'm going to have to work on tactically to do a bit better when I go away because kind of like last year, the last stage is a bit of a weakness for me and one that I'll be hoping to do better. I did better last year in the stage that was a weakness in the semis. So hopefully I can do the same this year and make this one a little bit better. I'm in eighth place. Looks like there are 5 guys up the road on this lap. Um, I'm going to go all in on this one. I think this might be my last sprint. So we're going to give it to everything we've got. I'm in a pretty good spot this time. Power's still pretty decent. Um, I'm actually finally in a good spot in the sprint. Maybe people are getting tired. I'm going to come through in the top 10 here. A really solid point score on that lap for me. 12 points, my best one so far. And that's when on the Discord, I say to the DS, I'm just going to sit up and enjoy this because, I've done a good job. I'm making the top 20. I've moved back into ninth place on the live leaderboard there as I sit up and start to really just enjoy things. And funnily enough, I look at the right hand side, thinking there was probably still 30 plus riders in the group. I'm in 19th. So I'm in a point scoring position all of a sudden. And I start to think, that was a little bit silly. I could have had a couple more sprints and maybe added a few more to the points haul. But I look on the right hand side and I've got a 7-second gap over 21st. So I kind of get up back into a moderate power on this incline because I want to score either the 2 or the 1 point on this hill because I can just keep accumulating, and then that's going to turn into a double 2 or a double 1 on the next lap, which is just going to trickle things over a little bit more. And after that little downhill rest for 30 seconds, I feel quite good again. I feel pretty recovered. I come through some of these lap riders, grab a little bit of speed and draft, and I'm now clearly in 19th place. So I'm going to roll around this time and grab the 2 points. And interestingly enough, 10th place on the leaderboard is not in the top 20 right now. So I'm going to consolidate my ninth place, which, given that I came into this stage 8th and have had a pretty shocking stage, it's quite a surprise. The guys in 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, they are catching me, but not at a rate of knots, not quick enough to, unless they get a really big finish here, not enough to actually make the inroads they need to take the spot. I get the 2 points there. That's what it does to the leaderboard. Um, so I'm now looking pretty good for ninth place in the semi-finals, which if you told me I was going to be top 10 in these semis, I would have been absolutely over the moon. I was top 10 at the semis last year, unexpectedly. I was top 10 in the final last year, unexpectedly. Um, I've been top 10 at a lot of big events in the last few years and have been really consistent in doing so, which obviously really, really happy with that, especially after the Mowers Championships mid-year, it wasn't a focus for me. It's not really something that I think is anywhere near my specialty in terms of esports racing. And, I finished just inside the top 20 on the GC there. So, that was a bit of a confidence hit. As at this point, I see Wu also easing up. He's in 18th. I think this is Wu here in that red Chinese vest, but it's actually not. He's still a few seconds up ahead in the other red Chinese vest. And I decide I'm going to try and catch Wu before the finish. Um, an extra 2 points you can't complain with. He's only just ahead of me on the left hand side there, but it's not going to be enough to actually catch him. Um, we roll round together, and I don't think he's going to contest the finish. I'm confident that I can get 18th place here, which is going to be 2, 4, 6 extra points to the tally to finish on 349. But anyway, top 10 in the semis. It's a nice confidence booster, and it was so good to be able to relax in this race and actually enjoy it. I didn't have that in my kind of bingo card that I'd come into the last stage feeling so relaxed. But it was an awesome feeling to be able to do a race with that kind of feeling. As I come across the line, there we go, 16 minutes on the clock. Grab an extra 6 points, and I will put the results of the stage up here now. So Jason, 148 points for the stage. He won it, but there's so much depth. Our scores weren't huge for that, but I was down there on like 39 points, so a lot of work to do in this one come the final. There's the top 20 points, so okay. Okay, it says 348 points. Maybe they've taken that 1 point off me. I'm not sure. It's all provisional, waiting for the verification to actually get the tick of approval to go, as well as the others in the top 20 are all waiting on that tick of approval. So nothing's official. We wait for those results, but hopefully they come in soon. I'll make a bit of a video about the lead up to this event, the preparation for the event, and that kind of thing as something a bit different. I'll bring that out at some stage soon. Thought it might be interesting, but for now, we'll see you then.